What's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at a sleep supplement, and this isn't a lucid dreaming supplement. This is in fact a sleep relaxation aid, or a sleep aid, right? It's going to help you fall asleep. It's going to help you relax, and it's going to help you get a better night's sleep. So that the next day you'll feel better, you'll feel more relaxed, you'll feel more energetic, and you'll feel more able to, do whatever you've got to do in the day. It's going to help you sleep. Sleep's important. So what we're talking about is this. Just let you have a good look at that cover there. It's called DeepAsleep, right? And instead of just saying like, yeah, it's good, you should buy it, which it is, but I'm going to explain how it works. Because, there's a lot of sleep supplements out there, there's a lot of sleep supplement reviews out there, and they all seem to just say, yeah, I tried it, it was good, it helps me fall asleep, but who cares? We want to know, I assume you want to know, how and why it works. Because if you're going to be taking this thing, if you're going to be taking these pills, you want to know what's in them, right? You want to know why certain ingredients are in there. So I'm going to go through all the ingredients in this supplement and explain what they do. So let's get into it. The first ingredient, Montmorency tart cherry extract. Okay. Now, Montmorency tart cherry extract has been shown to improve or increase your melatonin levels. So there have been studies done that show that taking this particular tart cherry extract increases your melatonin levels. Now, for those who don't know, your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-wake cycle, your cycle of being awake and being asleep, which is governed by or ruled by sunlight, which affects certain hormones. So you have melatonin, which is what it builds up during the day until it gets to the point where you just can't take it anymore and you have to fall asleep, right? The more you stay awake, the higher your melatonin levels and the more tired you feel. So the idea is that as the sun rises in the morning, throughout the entire day, you build up melatonin in your body to the point where you can't take it anymore, you just have to fall asleep. You feel too tired to stay awake, and so you go to bed and you fall asleep naturally. That's the idea anyway. And then in the morning, or just before you wake up, you get a peak of serotonin, which is where it's like the opposite. It's where the sunlight enters your body and you create serotonin, which makes you feel more awake. Okay, pumps you up and gets you energetic, ready for the day. So anyway, this particular thing, this Montmorency tart cherry extract, increases your melatonin levels, which helps you fall asleep. It's said to increase melatonin levels by up to 15%. So, moving on. Valerian Root extract. I'm referring to some spellings of these because there's some coming up which I probably can't pronounce, but nevertheless, Valerian Root extract is a sedative. Sometimes you might hear of people adding it to bathwater as a relaxant, and it increases GABA levels, right? Now, don't worry if you don't know what this means. I'm going to explain it very quickly for you. GABA levels. GABA stands for gamma amino butyric acid, okay? And what this does, it calms your brain down. So all the time, during the day, you've got all these thoughts going through your head, these feelings, emotions, you're thinking what you want to have for lunch, you're thinking about what your boss said at work the other day. All these thoughts are going through your head. They're keeping you active and awake. They're neurons firing all around your brain, which is what keeps high activity levels inside your brain. It keeps you awake, keeps you alert, and it keeps you, it keeps you awake. So GABA calms you down, right? So the way it works is like this. Valerian root extract, or valerian root, blocks GABA from being taken back into your nerve cells, okay? So as you're trying to fall asleep in the evening, you will naturally have GABA levels increasing. Your brain's trying to calm down. You're trying to think about less stuff. You're trying to just relax, let all your thoughts go, and fall asleep naturally, right? Well, valerian root stops GABA being broken back down, meaning that lots of GABA stays in your system and just relaxes you more, okay? It also lowers your blood pressure, which, if you don't know, when you fall into a deep sleep, what needs to happen is your blood pressure needs to go down, your temperature needs to drop, and your heart rate needs to slow down. This is what happens naturally when you fall into a deep sleep. So what valerian root does is it just helps you do that. Okay. Next ingredient, L-theanine. Now this is an amino acid that you normally would get from tea, okay, which relaxes you and reduces stress. This also increases your GABA levels, so it's another really good ingredient to have. This is actually packed full of natural, really good ingredients that will help you fall asleep. It's been designed very well. So, next one, hops flower extract. Now, hops are a natural relaxant and a diuretic, which means they're going to make you need to go to the toilet. But because of the low levels of hops flower extract in deep sleep, you probably won't notice the diuretic effect. You won't need to go to the toilet. That being said, you should still take it an hour before bed and try and go to the toilet before you go to bed, just in case, right? Now, hops flower extract, or hops, is also found in beer, okay? If you look at the bottle of beer, on the back it will say hops, and it will tell you how many are in there, roughly. So, yeah, hops, who knew? Beer makes you sleepy, beer makes you need to go to the toilet. It's the hops. Next ingredient, tryptophan. I think I'm saying that right. And this is an essential amino acid, which means your body can't actually create it. You need to get this from the food you eat, from supplements, from food. You can't create it, but you need it, okay? And this is an essential amino acid that helps you burn fat, sleep, it balances your hormones, and it balances your brain chemistry. This stuff's pretty important, okay? Who knew? Protein, it's important. Got to eat your protein. So tryptophan is another ingredient which is a relaxant. And that's it. That is a summary of the ingredients of DeepAsleep, which is what makes it such an effective way to fall asleep naturally. You take one or two of these before you go to bed, you're going to fall asleep, you're going to have a really nice, long, relaxing sleep. There's also a few other things like magnesium stearate and some other things which sort of help keep the supplements preserved. So that's it, guys. You should definitely go and check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Get a bottle, try it out, leave a comment letting me know how you get on, okay? But just one sort of final word. I don't know how long this video has gone on for now. It's been about 6 minutes so far. But we're going to talk about some natural ways you can make this more effective. So the first one is your circadian rhythm needs to be natural. So you need to try and wake up when the sun rises, go to sleep sort of when it starts to get dark. And it's going to maximise all of your other efforts. If you have trouble falling asleep, if you have trouble with tiredness during the day, you feel like you can't do anything, you don't have the energy, it's your circadian rhythm. Okay, we're designed to wake up when the sun rises and go to sleep when the sun goes down. Our hormones are, and our entire bodies are built around that system. They have been for thousands of years. But it's only recently we've started, we've got artificial lights. We stay up until 12, 1 in the morning because we can just keep the light on. Whereas before, when we didn't have light and we couldn't do that, we had to go to sleep when the sun went down because we couldn't see. We couldn't do anything, right? So try and balance your circadian rhythm. And I know you can't really go to sleep when the sun goes down because you'd be going to sleep too early. You've got stuff to do. I get that. But at least try and reduce your exposure to blue light during the evening. So blue light is what actually makes your body secrete serotonin, which is what keeps you up. It's also what you get from the sunlight. When it's the daytime, sunlight shines on you, you create serotonin, which is what keeps you up and awake. So in order to relax during the evening, you need to reduce how much serotonin you produce and start producing melatonin, which is what helps you fall asleep. Easiest way of doing that is to turn off blue light. So if you're using your laptop, you can download a program called Flux, fl.ux, that's the website address, and that's going to strip out the blue light from the screen, which is going to help you, if you do have to look at your laptop, it won't keep you as awake. It's going to help you relax. Next thing, probably the most important one, is to make sure you wake up at the same time, fall asleep at the same time, every day. If you have a system where you wake up early on the weekdays for work, and then you lay in at the weekends, you're not going to have a sleep routine. And so your body's not going to know when to naturally create your hormones, and it's not going to know when to naturally wake you up. So you're always going to be in that state of panic in the morning when the alarm goes off. Monday morning rolls around, the alarm goes off at 7, and you start panicking. You feel terrible, you feel tired. You don't want to get out of bed because your routine, your sleep pattern, is thrown out of whack. You don't know, your body doesn't know when it should be getting up because you don't have a routine. So it's important to wake up and fall asleep at the same time, roughly. You can vary it a little bit, but at least try and wake up roughly within a half an hour to an hour window of every other day. So that's it, guys. If you want to know how to use these, I'll put a link in the description. Take 1 or 2 capsules with a drink an hour before bed, and you'll have a really relaxing sleep. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you next time.